BRAINY presents Why Nothing Feels Fun and Exciting Anymore. Remember when fun used to feel effortless? When you didn't have to plan it, schedule it, or post about it. It just happened. Now it feels like no matter what you do, nothing hits the same. Movies are dull. Hanging out seems like a chore. Getaways feel hurried, as if you're racing against the clock instead of relaxing. And maybe you started wondering, what changed? It's not just you. The world really has shifted in ways that make fun and excitement harder to feel. Here's a closer look at why that is. Everything is politicized. There was a time when you could just like things. You could watch a movie, listen to a band, wear a shirt, or post a thought without worrying about what side it put you on. Now everything feels filtered through an agenda. Entertainment pushes messages. Conversations become loyalty tests, and every opinion is measured against the latest cultural narrative. It's exhausting. Fun depends on lightness, on freedom from scrutiny, but today, even the most innocent interests get turned into debates. You find yourself self-censoring, tiptoeing, or quietly avoiding topics just to dodge an argument. And when every space feels like a minefield, laughter stops coming naturally. Everything is expensive. Let's not forget about the cost of living. It's hard to enjoy life when everything has a price tag that feels unreasonable. A casual meal out now costs what used to be a full grocery trip. Movie tickets, travel, even small hobbies, everything's inflated. You practically need a budget spreadsheet just to leave the house. When everything costs more, you start to second guess your plans. You weigh each outing against your budget, and eventually you stop saying yes to things you'd probably love because you can't justify it. Fun becomes another line item you can't afford. And when money turns joy into guilt, you stop reaching for it altogether. Everything is fake. We're surrounded by filtered versions of life, both online and offline. People are smiling, laughing, traveling, and showing off perfect moments that somehow all look the same. You know it's curated. You know it's not real, but your brain still compares. And after enough exposure to all that artificial happiness, even your own good moments start feeling staged. Because how can you tell if you're actually enjoying something or just trying to convince yourself you are? When life starts feeling like a show you're starring in, genuine excitement becomes harder and harder to experience. Everything is recorded. We've forgotten how to simply live a moment without trying to freeze it in a frame. You can't attend a concert without a wall of glowing screens blocking the view. You can't go on a trip without feeling like you need proof that it happened. You know what I mean? The irony is, the more we try to capture moments, the less we actually experience them. Fun is something you feel when you're immersed, unguarded, present. But we've been trained to see every good thing as content, and that constant self-awareness kills the spontaneity that makes fun real. Everything is rushed. Life feels like it's always on fast forward, doesn't it? You wake up already behind, juggling obligations that never end. Even the little breaks you carve out don't feel restful. They're just smaller versions of being busy. And because your brain is constantly multitasking, you never fully arrive in the present moment. Fun requires presence. It lives in the now. But when your nervous system is stuck in what's next, everything good passes you by in a blur. You laugh, but your mind is elsewhere. You rest, but you're tense. And eventually, you start wondering if you even remember what genuine relaxation feels like. Everything is optimized. Somehow, we manage to turn everything into a productivity contest. Every hobby needs to lead somewhere. Every interest must be useful. You can't simply take photos. It should become a side hustle. You can't simply exercise. It has to come with stats, trackers, and goals. We don't let ourselves do things badly anymore. We've lost the joy of pointlessness. But fun is inherently pointless. That's why it feels so freeing. The pressure to extract value out of every activity turns fun into work, and leisure into yet another task on the to-do list. Everything is commodified. There's hardly a corner of life that hasn't been packaged, branded, and sold back to us. Camping becomes glamping. Hanging out becomes a $40 brunch. A night of board games becomes a subscription box, and so on. None of this is inherently bad, but it takes away the sense of spontaneity. Fun used to emerge out of nothing. A pickup game, a random drive, a backyard chat. Now it's like you have to buy a ticket, upgrade, or follow a trend to experience some kind of pleasure. When every experience is commercialized, it starts to feel hollow. Everything is addictive. Entertainment today is engineered to keep you hooked, not fulfilled. Video games, streaming platforms, and social media aren't designed to be enjoyed in moderation. They're designed to keep you coming back. The result is overstimulation without satisfaction. You binge watch, scroll, or grind through hours of play, but instead of feeling energized, you feel empty. This hijacks the brain's dopamine system, making normal pleasures feel dull by comparison. Fun mutates into compulsion, and compulsion never feels good for long. Everything is repetitive. Scroll through Netflix, and you'll see remakes of remakes. Or TikTok, its trends repeat, with slightly different faces. Even new music often samples or covers old hits. The cycle of content feels endless, yet uninspiring. Nothing feels new enough to wake you up. Excitement needs novelty, the thrill of surprise. But in a world where everything's been done, remade, and repurposed, our senses have grown dull. Everything is stressful. The background noise of life has gotten louder. Between the news, the economy, and the endless stream of things going wrong, we are living in a constant state of low-grade anxiety. Even when you try to relax, there's a heaviness you can't quite shake. That feeling that something could go wrong at any time. It's no wonder fun feels out of reach. Joy needs a sense of ease, the feeling that it's okay to let your guard down. And most people haven't felt that in a long time. Everything is isolating. It's ironic, isn't it? We've never been more connected, yet people have never felt lonelier. Digital interaction has replaced real human presence. Group chats have replaced gatherings. Likes have replaced laughter. And while virtual connection can be convenient, it doesn't fill the same emotional space. Sure, fun is about doing things, but it's also about sharing them. Without people to experience joy with, even the best moments lose their color. So, if nothing feels fun or exciting anymore, you're not broken. You're just tired of pretending this version of life is normal. The modern world is overstimulating and undernourishing at the same time. It's filled with noise, but starved of meaning. It's not that fun has disappeared. It's that the conditions that allowed fun to flourish have faded away. Constant stress, judgment, comparison, and commercialization have reshaped the environment we live in. But there is hope. Fun can still exist. It just may require rediscovering the basics: presence, connection, and play without performance. And while that may be harder than before, it's still worth fighting for. If this resonates, take a second to like, share, and drop a comment below, because chances are someone else out there is feeling the same way. Also, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.